Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's get into this. It's going to be a love tarot, but I do want to specifically just ask what is the message from the universe in regards to love? By the way, after this, I will be doing a storytelling for Cancerian. Today, our week was really messy, Cancer. So normally you guys should get a video. Cancer should get a video on Tuesday and Saturday. None of that happened because of what my week turned into, but I'm still going to make sure you guys get one tonight. Okay. So this is collective, though. It's not just for Cancer. It's any zodiac. Um, the universe says a little Celine Dion. Think twice before you leave my life. This feels like with the Eight of Cups, and you notice she's in deep contemplation. Does the character really want to leave things? Hi, AC. Hi, Denisa, Zoe, Kins. Hey, hey, guys. Also, don't forget, tomorrow, you guys, I will be going live 3 different times on this channel, 2 different times over on my other channel, and doing card pulls for subscribers and members. So I made a post about it to tell you guys the times that that'll be happening. You can check it in the community post, or I think they just call it the post section now, or maybe they call it community. I can't remember. But just so you guys know, that is happening on Monday, okay? Thank you guys for helping to make this channel so amazing and get us to 10,000 subscribers. Back into the story. Forgive me for digressing there, but I don't want to forget to tell you guys. We got double threes, 3 pentacles, 3 of wands. If the message from the universe in regards to love is first to a divine feminine about walking away and really contemplating, has she walked away from relationships in the past that she actually wanted, but she said, if they can't be what I need them to be, if I'm dealing with somebody who still, would only give me a third of their energy because they actually have too much on their plate, did I walk away because I would rather they come back when they can give me their full attention? The universe is just kind of asking her to identify maybe what prompted her to walk away. If it's somebody that she wanted, but we see if I could work with them, but I would have to accept whatever their circumstances were. And maybe their circumstances weren't good enough. So she's like, I'd rather wait until circumstances are different. You know what? That is totally her prerogative. That is totally fine. But we can see that he had 3 different, well, in this case, planted skulls that are growing flowers. It doesn't have to mean this person had third parties and they were cheating or anything like that. Let's say their career was really busy, and let's say they had children from a previous commitment. Those are going to complicate matters. She's not going to get the full attention. And if she is a more single person, unencumbered, the difference between, hey, I can give you all of me, but I'd have to accept a third of you. No, come talk to me when your kids are grown up. Come talk to me when your career is no longer front and center because you're not trying to scramble to make enough money to pay for your babies that are still, growing, like until they can get their own paychecks and start to pay for themselves. And, now maybe you have time for a real relationship with me. Like this sounds a little bit blunt, a little bit harsh, but the universe is just kind of pointing out to her to evaluate, would she have ever been willing to accept things the way they were? Did she really want to work with this person? This hints that she didn't want to, not the way circumstances were, but that she would perhaps in the future if it changed. And it's kind of like, when you can come fly to me, when you can get your passport and come into my world, then things could be different. Here's why I think that this story exists at all, is because sometimes characters they have a tendency to say, you know what, they didn't pick me, they didn't prioritize me, it hurt me, they weren't there for me, so it's like they left me. And this is a flip. It's the same story, but a different perspective, right? She actually held the power to say, what you're giving me isn't enough. I want to work with you, but I want more than what you're giving me. I don't want somebody who splits their time in 3 different directions. So I'd rather wait until later on. So I'm going to walk away for now until I can get what I really want, either from you or from somebody else. And now all of a sudden we see how, same scenario, nothing changed. They still weren't giving enough, but she was in the position of power to reject, having to accept less than what she wanted, less than what she would have been able to give also. And I kind of think that that's great for the universe to point it out to her, because it actually gives her the power back to say, you chose what wasn't okay with you. With the moon card here, she might just now be recognizing that, which could, really be tremendous to help her heal. Sometimes we walk around feeling, jilted or unloved or uncared about, only to then realize, wait a second, deep down, hell no, I wasn't going to accept a third of their energy. I would have walked away anyhow if, maybe it wasn't possible, but it wasn't me getting jilted. It was me saying, this isn't enough for me. I'm bouncing. And I just think that deep down, maybe the universe is like, hey, think about it. You made the choice. You actually walked. Not necessarily them. She may never have seen it this way before. Let me just ask, in all fairness, feminine, can you give us your real raw, explanation? How did you see this whole situation? We got an Ace of Pentacles sideways. The sideways cards. Four of Wands, Temperance. Okay, so she's saying, look, I saw it as an amazing relationship where we could have had it all. We could have been madly in love. We could be married happily ever after. We could be the best match. If they were done with some other chapter of their life and they were all hyper focused on me and all in, if they could have a new beginning with just me, then we could have had this. Okay, so the way she has been seeing it is the contingency, all of this would be amazing, all of this would be perfect, but they have to make a fresh, why didn't they just choose me? Why didn't they just, end whatever else they had to and just totally be ready to grow with me? That's what it would have taken. And then I could have given them everything. They could have given me everything, and we could have had it all. Didn't we almost have it all? Is that Whitney Houston? The nights we held on till the morning. The ride with you was worth the fall, my friend, but didn't we almost have it all? We've got the Three of Cups. By the way, I hope everybody applauds me for not belting that out, because it took supreme personal strength for me not to karaoke my way through that, because it's really hard. It's so fun to try to hit notes that you can't hit, and you just want to belt it out when you know the song and you like the song. And it takes a lot of personal empowerment for me to not sing along. By the way, I've never sung karaoke. I can't sing, but I still belt out songs all the time. Music is such a big part of my life, and it's in my head all the time. But I would sing it if I weren't on the camera. But I won't do that to you. Five of Cups and the Three of Cups. She was saying it it was like I got pulled into a hula hoop with two other people, and it really hurt. I was in a third party, and it really sucked. And I'm the one who, there's not enough space in this Venn diagram, this hula hoop of love. I shouldn't be in a third party. There is absolutely, she has every right to have that opinion. So she's kind of right now justifying, why should I have to accept a third party? Why would I accept that? Why don't they end something to be with me? Why would I have to be in a third party? So then instead I'm the person who has to walk away with nothing, or I have to accept being put in the third party. Okay, so that's how she sees it. And really, the universe says the exact same thing, but with a slightly different nuance to it, which is simply to nudge her to say, you did walk away for the right reason, and you did walk away with power. You didn't actually walk away as the loser. You walked away from them. They lost you. You didn't lose them. And you walking away from them ended up that you had the position of power. And she does need to see it that way. Universe, why does she need to see it that way? Is it just because it's going to help her heal, or it's going to, make her be like, yeah, hot diggity, I did do what I needed to. We've got the Ace of Wands. I do think this is a little bit of a pep talk for her. She's passionate, she's straightforward, she goes after what she wants, and she won't settle for less than what she actually wants. She will not be somebody who accepts and settles for crumbs She's like, look, if I'm given all of me, I go after things that I want wholeheartedly, but I also have the self constraint to walk away from things that are not going to satisfy me because it'd be maddening. I don't want to deal with somebody that still has some other obligations to such an extent that I would constantly be the third person on the list that they would give energy to. No, I don't do that. And I think the universe is just kind of pointing that out to her. You do go after what you truly want, and when we want something, if we're really going to be happy, and this is a card of self-satisfaction and personal desire, um, why would we ever say, well, I want this, it's going to make me frustrated, hurt, feel bad about myself, but I still want it? That would be like the greedy, like little kid who wants all the toys for themselves instead of learning how to share. Or, like there's I think the universe is saying, listen, you already were more mature in this situation. You knew not to put yourself through a situation that really wouldn't have satisfied you. You know what satisfies you and you know what doesn't. That right there is super powerful. Ace of Pentacles. And you've already chosen a new path for yourself. Your life started over, or your timeline shifted. You're on the new beginning. Maybe they aren't with you, but that's the whole point. There's no point in looking back at them. If they didn't make changes in their life, you did. And to your credit, you learned who you are. That's a wonderful thing, to know who you are. Will she be in a third party? Nope, it doesn't satisfy her. It's not because it's like, oh, well, that's wrong, that's taboo, that's this, that's that. No, she's like, I don't like it, I don't want it, it's not enough. So I start over and I'm ready to meet somebody new. No, I'm not even talking to that person anymore. No, they don't get to blur lines. I'm not going to be part of a Venn diagram relationship. It shouldn't have to be that way when that's not going to be fulfilling for me. And I just think the universe is pointing out, like, how awesome is it that she knows herself? How awesome is it that she stands for something, that her no's are no's, her yeses are yeses. So I kind of think there really isn't anything to look back at the past and feel like I'm so sad, or I got the short end of the deal, or I had to walk away the loser. You didn't lose anything, darling. You walked in the same way you walked out, which is you brought your real self to the table. You didn't put up with any fuss or muss. You didn't accept stuff and lower your standards. You didn't, either let yourself get steamrolled into things you really weren't okay with. You stood up for yourself. You had your dignity. Like, good on you. You didn't walk away a loser in this of anything at all. Okay, so what does that mean for her right now? It's a great kind of perspective shift, I think, to have. That feels like the wrong deck. I want this one. What does that mean for her now? Sorry, I can't pick up the last card on the bottom. What is it? 10 of Pentacles wanted to hang out down there. But I got it. We've got a Queen of Wands. I could imagine her being the Queen of Wands, somebody who's very good at choosing. And here she is. She's not singing karaoke, but she is playing her flute to her own tune. A Queen of Wands is very good at saying, I pick. I own my choices too, but I pick. And if something, you got to make me want you. And then you got to want me too. And then we could have success together. But I don't say yes to things unless they're offering me something that I really want. So I really feel like that's a perfect, queen to liken her to. And we have the Eight of Cups. Once again, the Eight of Cups. This has been one of those stories where, that was our first card out. Now we see it again. We keep seeing the story of a very empowered, possibly divine feminine, even though, of course, this could still be a masculine, but they're coming out as a warm-hearted, loving, generous, but also, I'll say, empowered individual who has a backbone. Even here, she sits up straight, right? Sorry, I'm a little slumped, little beanbag right now, but she sits up nice and straight. You see with this Eight of Cups, the challenge is always, I need to have peace in my life. I can't have my emotions get all stormy and upset. And I don't want to pretend to be placid or be like, okay, just breathe through this. I mean, I hate every part of this. I'm really pissed off. I feel like I'm getting cheated, but let me just try to be calm about it. No, she finds something in between. She's a little spice and she's a little sugar. She got an edge to her. A queen of wands, like I've been saying, she's got a little bit of sass in here. Like, I'm not going to accept less than what I want. Why would I? Why should I be the third on your list? That's not enough. If I'm coming in with no background noise, no extra problems to bring to the tables, you get all of me, but I get a third of you. That's not enough. You would have to make me want you, and a third of you is not enough. And I just feel like it is blunt, but it's also her not settling for less than what she knows she's worth and would make her happy, because she's got to stay calm. She can't be cheating herself and be pissed off half the time, because look, a pissed off queen of wands is spicy and hot. you know she's not going to do that. That's not who she wants to be. She wants to be honest and truthful and still be really loving. So she has to make tough decisions for herself in order to actually make the right decisions for herself. And that's where she's at. She's at peace now. It's like, I did do the right thing, didn't I walked away, and now I can heal from this. I can let this go. I made the right choice. I can put this, this relationship, this concept into, like it's mausoleum. It's old history. It's ancient history now. They had to do what they had to do. And I was actually ultimately the one who walked away from them because I wouldn't accept less. As now that I see it that way, now I know I made the right choice, and now I can actually heal from this, because I could have stayed and had a lot less, but that's not who I am. I don't do less. Good for her for living authentically. Queen of Cups. And now she can be softer. Now she can be more loving. She's already, like a great heart, but now she's also like really emotionally adept. What I love about this queen, and what I think the universe has been trying to say to her, is loving another person teaches us sometimes also how to love ourselves. It also teaches us about love and about compassion, and where is the perfect balance between saying, well, when we love somebody, we do give them a lot of our time, and sometimes things aren't super equal, but we might still say circumstances are difficult, but I'm going to stand by this person anyway. Look, this situation, this was not the one for her. It just wasn't, because we don't see when he's ever going to be done watering these other flowers. Like, to keep flowers alive, you're always going to have to nurture them. He had too many other previous situations that required and would always require a bunch of his time. I don't know what those other situations were, or if it's just the way he operates. But in her mind, the truth of it is he was never actually going to give to her properly the amount that she would want to receive. So that is why this couldn't have worked. But now she knows she didn't miss out. Now she doesn't have to feel sad. Now there is no loss. Now it simply is, wow, I feel actually really warm, really soft, really loving. I feel like I stood up for myself, and I feel good about that. I don't know what her anthem song is, but I'm hearing like, you're going to hear me roar. Hi, Katy Perry. But it just feels like she is soft, but she's also strong. She has to do right by herself. Maybe she has a child also, and she's like, I'm not going to get into a relationship with someone who's, me and my child will always have to be second or third on their list of, when they can be there for us. I'm not gonna show my son or daughter that's you should, be like somebody's, afterthought or something like that. All of this just says she's actually really very healed and very loving. Still, she's not angry. In fact, I think she's letting this go more than she ever has. And the universe is like, great. That's when you're ready to step through the portal. You notice that this wasn't anything about like her saying, oh, now I get it. I can love that person, wish them well. You notice it's not really about that. Oh my God, AC, you angel. Thank you so much. AC just gifted 10 memberships, you guys. Thank you. Jeannie Vale, Piscean Witchery, Divine Light, Travis Rhodes, Lonella Christina Ardeline. Forgive me if I said your name wrong. The Loud Whisper. It's Jenny, Candace Jackson, Marissa, Ash Digital, Bria M. Welcome, you guys. You're all members. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, AC. You're so sweet. This looks so much like, by the way, AC, you know I'm going to pull some cards for you tomorrow. And I know you always say yes, always. So I'm just going to take a liberty and say I'll get you tomorrow, love. But this feels like the universe says, that's when you're ready to leave the past in the past and you're ready to step through the new portal. You're ready for new love. You're ready to rock out on Oktoberfest. And I don't know, she always looks like she's carrying these beer steins and she's kind of like dressed in, is it called lederhosen when it's the female's outfit? Forgive me if I've said it wrong. I thought the male's outfit was lederhosen, but I don't know what you call it for the cute little dresses for the girls. We have a Knight of Cups. There is somebody new, and I don't even think it's going to be long before she meets somebody new. This newness, she needed to think of herself as fully single, but not wounded single. She needed to think of herself as somebody loving with a ton to offer and looking forward to meeting someone who can offer her the same in return. And I think she's at that point, and the universe is like, beautiful. That's when you will be able to attract the kind of person that you want. This is a 7 of Swords, but this deck shows it so differently. And I love the interpretation on this instead. A 7 of Swords can be a card of lies and deception and running away. This card's none of that. This is more about sometimes we have information that's right there in front of us, but until we learn how to decipher it, right? Because this is like, we got to be able to read the hieroglyphs. We can be confused about the dynamic of a situation until we learn how to until we gain the wisdom. So it's not that it's lies or that love is a lie or that someone was lying to her. It's that she needed to adjust the way she saw the situation and get it more accurate. That situation of the past, obviously we know she would have walked away from. What she's really looking for is someone who has less complications, somebody that she can choose and who can freely choose to move toward her. Somebody who maybe is a little bit more of an adventurer, somebody who she can get to know and who really wants to get to know her. Somebody who's just, to put it simply, I don't even know that she would have been successful with that person of the past at all. I really don't think that she would have or could have been with that person of the past. 7 of Cups, I don't know. 7 of Cups says there's so many different pathways our life could take. There's always so many different, timelines. She would have had to have been a different person, though, to make that relationship of the past work. And I think, honestly, there's so many other options out there for her. All she has to do is pick what timeline she wants. If she wants to meet a new person, now is a great time for her to do it. If she wants to have a romance in her life, she can absolutely have a successful one right now. But she will always be in charge. She's not the kind of character who's just like, let me float along and just see what happens in life. She is somebody who is consciously, how do I say this? She's one of these characters who actually manages her thoughts and is very present in her own life, which means not a whole lot probably randomly happens to her. She's probably really, really good, whether or not she knows this, she's really good at making decisions, shutting off her energy or opening up her energy gates to welcome things into her life or to prevent things from happening in her life. Now might be a great time for her to recognize that about herself. This is a power and a strength that she has that she can use to her advantage, or it can become like a massive blockage for her. Things don't just happen for her. She has way more power. Basically, she's a great manifester, but the flip side of being a great manifester is you can shut off the flow. And I think the universe is telling her, you should recognize the power that you have. You've not noticed it, and it's a good time for you to recognize it. You picked not to be with that person of the past. And deep down, you know damn well you wouldn't have matched with them. You know yourself really well. You just needed to acknowledge how well you know yourself. Same thing. If you want a new lover, you can have one in 20 minutes. You can meet somebody who will be crazy about you if you're ready for that. But if you are saying, well, I want a lover right now, but I'm not ready for a long-term one, guess what? You will find someone who is not going to be long-term. It's not going to accidentally happen to you. You're way more in charge of your timelines than most characters because you're not oblivious. You're really clear on who you are. Now, that's a blessing and a curse for someone who's really, really clear on who they are. Small TV, you're so sweet, love. Small TV, you're so generous, so kind. This really looks like we've got just like such a beautiful energy here of, if she's that empowered and she knows what she's doing, awesome. It means she's got this. She's got this dialed in. This is not something that she needs to mess about, play around with. This is not something that she needs to stress out about or wonder or worry about. She's got this dialed in. If she knows that about herself, it's going to make her choices a lot easier. But it means she's going to have to be able to sit down with herself sometimes and say, okay, hang on. What is it that I'm really calling in? What is it that I'm really manifesting? Because she's going to get it or she's going to block it depending on her mindset. So plan wisely, feminine. That's what the message is in love. She will have any outcome she wants. If she wants to marry like literally anything, if she's like, oh, I've always had a fantasy that I was going to marry somebody who's a duke. Guess what? She's the kind of person who will meet a duke and marry that duke. But she has to really be intentional about it. Say, that is what I believe I'm supposed to be with. That is what I want. That is the person that I want. So therefore, that is who I will end up with. And she will. But if she's wishy-washy, she's not gonna dial it in and get what she wants. So all of this is like, it gives her all the power, which is how we started this storyline out. But it also says it could be a curse if she doesn't recognize that much power and actually harness it. So this is a great time for her to harness it. Is she going to? Let me just ask one last card. 3 of Wands. She is in the process of learning this about herself more profoundly and starting to apply it. I think that the next 3 months, she's going to make tremendous strides forward. I think she is going to grab the fire that is within and actually like utilize it to her greatest advantage. I think this is it. This is her go time. This is the time that she realizes, holy smokes, I can literally, she may start practicing manifesting things, little things at first, and then noticing she gets every single little thing. It may not be instantly, but like little things, you know, if she's thinking about, you know, I want to hear that song. And then it's like 24 hours later, she hears a song she was thinking about that she was like, I want to hear that song. There will be a way that that comes on for her. You know, I'm just saying that because we have the, you know, these guitars. It doesn't have to be that, but I'm just saying she may start to recognize little signals that, oh my God, I am manifesting. Now, granted, we could say, if you want to hear a song and you know it's like classic rock, you're probably going to turn on the classic rock station, right? Or maybe, you know, sometimes other serendipitous things happen. The person in the car next to you is pumping classic rock music, and that's how you hear it, is because they're playing a CD in their car. Or I guess nobody has CDs anymore. I do. CDs and LPs, but I'm very old school. But it, you know, it's just little things might start to show up in her life the more she consciously thinks about it. And I think that she's supposed to be like embracing that power more and more and really seeing where it can take her. That is pretty exciting because her future is going to be exactly what she wants. Again, it just, the warning is make sure you set your mind to something feminine and call it in, because you're going to get what you want. But if you say, I'm not sure what I want, then you probably won't get anything because you didn't put your order in with the universe yet. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to bounce on over so I can get a Cancerian video done on this channel, and then I'll still release the today's topic video on the other channel, and then I'll probably call it a night because we've got a busy full day tomorrow. I'll be in the members corner because it's Monday, so I'll be in the members corner on both channels, and then of course I'll also be going live. The times are listed. I put a post on both channels today just to let you guys know how that's going to run. So basically because I wanted to celebrate the fact that you guys got us to 10,000 subscribers on this channel. So I wanted to do 3 hours of card pulls over on this channel, plus like a half hour that's just for members, just because it's, the members group is smaller. So that means, you have a greater chance of getting a card pull. And then during the times that I go live, for all the subscribers, those will be those other 3 hours. Members will still have a shot there too, but I just wanted to do like just a half hour where it's emphasis is put on members, and then all the rest of it is for subscribers, but members can be there too. So I'm doing that on both channels, but I'm doing an extra hour on this channel to celebrate. So anyway, that'll be tomorrow. Oh my gosh, you are so sweet. Small TV, you're such an angel. You're stuck in new sub mode for 20 minutes. That's so crazy because you've been with me for so long. I've known you for forever. My love, let me, can I pull a card for you tomorrow? Because I don't want you to be stuck in whatever that weird, no man's land is for you. Because, gosh, you've been with me since the very beginning of my channel. AC, you're afraid of owls? I'm not laughing. We all have something that we're afraid of, but my brother's is whales, by the way. And I was like, why whales? Sharks, I get, but whales. He's, oh no, the whales. We all have our thing, don't we? Oh, mine is heights and snakes. Spiders are cool though. Hi, Delani. Lucia, great to see you. Travis Rhodes, Jessica H, Ginger, wonderful to see you guys tonight. Miss So the Peaceful Observer. I hope everybody had a really nice Easter. Hi, Julie. Oh, thank you so much. Is it Pussy Woosy? Forgive me if I said your name wrong, but it's adorable. Calm C, awesome to see you. Sexy Senator Sag, hey, darling. RS, you love CDs too. Awesome. Tammy Secord. Thank you again, Small TV. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and see. I'm guessing I maybe got a message from you. I don't know. The Small TV, do let me know if I can pull one for you tomorrow. Hi, Priyanka. Wonderful to see you. Sweet dreams, RS. Pri, you collect CDs also. They're heavy, aren't they? They suck to move if you have a big collection, but they're still so great. April Fresh, snakes, bears, and sharks. I hear you. Oh my God, AC, that's so scary. Oh my gosh. You had a bear outside your house? Oh my God, that's so scary. Stay safe. Oh, when you were growing up. Okay. Or were you talking about the owl? I'm sorry. I just read bears from April Fresh, and so I was thinking, I doubt it was a shark staring at you. Genesis Harvest, hey, great to see you. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Shout out to you in Portugal, love. Madsy Moik, great to see you. FK Slay, hey. And thank you again, AC, for all of the amazing new memberships that you just gifted today. My gosh, I've lost track of how many you've gifted. It's been so many. Hi, Suzette. I'm reading through your guys' comments right now. Moonshine, hi. Hi, Tarek. Yes, well said. Well said. T-Baby. Hi, Violet. Oh my gosh, great to see you, honey. And thanks again, Delani, for being here. Rach is magic. Awesome to see you. Christy Peruso, ciao, darling. Oh, you make me think of Milan. Oh, I loved Milan. I was only there once, but it was fabulous. Hi, Amy. I am so honored. Welcome for your first time catching a live. That's so awesome. Hi, Nancy. I did. I had a nice Easter. I got a sunburn, so it felt amazing just to be outside, though. Thanks again, Zoe and Kins. Oh my God, Small TV, you are so cute. Thank you, my love. Thank you. You're so generous, always. All right, you guys, have a wonderful evening. I will see you all. Well, if you're with me still for the Cancerian video, I'll see you there. And if you're with me for the today's topic on the other channel, I'll see you there as well. All right, guys, bye. And I'll see you on Monday.